Now let's get some water on our map. I'm going to make a new layer here, and I'm going to name it Lakes and Rivers. And I'm going to turn my original map back on so I can zoom in where I know there is a lake. So the lake is going to be very much like the islands, except we're going to put a fill on it right away. So I'm going to use my pencil tool and just use a normal width uniform. And let's just go with the 1 point to start with. I'm going to draw around the lake. And then I'm going to change the fill right here to a nice lake type color. So there's a stroke and a fill on this shape, and it actually looks not too bad. Let's go ahead and check out some rivers. So I'm going to change my selection. So I'm not changing the lake there. And you can see that when you're zoomed in, those rivers do show up. Let me start off with a very simple river that just flows from the mountains into the sea. I'm going to use Control minus and come out a little bit. And I'm going to use the pencil tool to trace over it right here. So starting always where the river is the widest and going up towards where it starts. The headwaters up in the mountains, because those are going to be very small streams. So this is a uniform width from one end to another. And what we can do is increase the width a little bit and change it from uniform to this width profile right here. So what it does is it makes the finishing end of the river very, very thin, which makes it look like a real river. Now, if I want to do another one, very simply because I'm away from that one, I can just trace over another river right here. But it's not going to remember the width necessarily. So I'm going to go ahead and change this one as well. And I believe if I just put it at 3, just like the other, they're about equal. Here's another river over here, and you can see that it actually has 2 branches to the river. So what we do is just pick one of them and we follow it all the way up from where it exits the country, in this case on the ocean. You don't have to be quite as accurate as the borders with another country or the coastline. Do the same thing, increase the width of the line, maybe go a little bit larger, and then change it here. So since it has 2 rivers going into it, then I'm going to keep that width a little more. Now if I try to draw the second part right from here, because that other one is selected, it actually changes the course of the river. The trick is to deselect this one so that then we can draw from here and go up another branch, another river that goes into the mountains. You can see I did indeed have a little bobble there. I'm going to continue this all the way up, and I need to fix that. That's a little bit too far off, although not too bad. By selecting that and then clicking on an anchor, I can move it over. So grabbing the anchors and even changing the handles a little bit. So that's much better. I'm going to zoom out, and you can see again it's that one single width. I'm going to go back to my pencil tool. Let me deselect and reselect it. And now I can see that the width of it can be bigger. And then the uniform width changing to this. You want them to more or less be the same width. So this is a much bigger river coming into that. Maybe bring it down to a 3 point. And now we've got the beginnings of our rivers. So I'm going to draw some more on here. Okay, so now that we've got all of the rivers drawn, I'm going to turn off the original map, and you can see all of the smaller tributaries leading to the larger exits into the ocean or leaving the country. And that's something that we'll be able to turn off and on for our presentation.